So if you're given two sides of a right triangle, you should be able to find the 6 trig functions, right? What would you have to do before you could find the 6 trig functions? Say again? Find what? The third side, right? And how are we going to find this third side? Pythagorean theorem, right? This side should be the square root of 10 squared minus 8 squared, right? Because this squared plus this squared equals this squared, so it's this squared minus this squared equals this squared. Take the square root. That's 100 minus 64 is 36. The square root is 6. Right? So the sine of theta will be 6 over, remember, if you need help remembering these things, you can write yourself some kind of acronym, SOHCAHTOA, that works. Some old horse caught a horse taking oats away, or some old horse came a hopping through our alley, right? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. And as I told you, when I was your age, we did this. Oliver and olive oil have had algebra. That's the sine, that's the cosine, that's the tangent. In some way, though, you got to remember those signs, right? Those definitions. So the sine of theta will be 6 over 10. You could rewrite. You could say that's 3/5 if you simplified it. But you don't turn it. If it says exact, you would not turn it into a decimal. Don't try to say sine of 6 over 10. That would not be correct, right? The only thing that goes inside of the trig function is an angle. That's a ratio of sides. You would never try to take the sine of that. Okay. So the cosine is 8 over 10. The tangent is, right, opposite over adjacent, 6 over 8. Right, and then we would find the cosecant and the secant and the cotangent by flipping. Now, the one thing, and you guys don't seem to have much issue with this, but just trying to remember, does the secant go with the sine or does the secant go with the cosine? But that's something you do have to be straight on. And it's the secant goes with the cosine. It's the cosecant that goes with the sine. Right? And it's the cotangent that goes with the tangent. So each one of those would just be the flip of that. 8 over 6, 10 over 8, 10 over 6. And I always remember it myself is that I would have thought that the co goes with the co, but it doesn't. That I just remind, okay, do the opposite.